So speaking of Wu Assassin's Fistful of Vengeance, what did it feel like learning that you'll get to play Lu Xin again?
Well, it was really cool, because I love the character, and I think in the first season they went through so much together as like a family, and we were really looking to like expand on that in season two. But when they brought up the idea of doing a film, it really kind of made sense because it just kind of streamlines the story, condenses, parts of the series that maybe felt a little convoluted, and then all the things that the series got right, like the action scenes and the stuff that people really wanted to see, we kind of just condensed it and made it like easier to digest. Yeah. So we took some of the weak points and made them better, and then we took the strong points and just like amplified it, put it on steroids. So it's like literally like a nonstop action film. From the first 10 minutes it just goes to the end.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie yet?
I haven't. Okay. I'm gonna watch it. A group of my friends and I were actually going to have a watch party for it when it comes out.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It'll be very fun. I'm very excited for it. But speaking of those fight scenes and the stunts, was there any scene that was like particularly hard for you? And like, was there a lot of collaboration when it came to those scenes?
Yeah, there's always a lot of collaboration. So on this one, we always work with Eco's team, obviously, and Eco's team from Indonesia, they're awesome. And then at the same time, we had a collaboration with the Sing stunt team who did Ong Bak and a lot of really great action movies. So they're a Thai stunt team. And I actually worked with them a long time ago when I was a kid, when my father was doing Bloodsport 2 in Thailand. So like, it was pretty crazy to see because they were like, I'm all grown up now. I call him uncle. So it was cool. So it was like a collaboration of these two awesome teams. And yeah, they were really collaborative in the way that we could design stuff, and they would show us some choreography, and we would kind of like, throw ideas out and work on the whole scene together. But there's one in particular that for the first time, we used what is called like a Bolt robot camera rig. And what it is it's a giant, like 6-foot robot that's on like a track. And these specialists come in and they design an algorithm of exactly how the camera can move at different points. So we did like basically the idea was to do like a one-shot fight scene for as long as we possibly could, with the camera moving all around, through, up and down. But we had to basically dance around this huge robot, which could at any point, if you make one wrong move, could take your head off, and has injured a lot of people before in the past, but it hasn't been used like this. So this is a particularly cool fight scene, and that was particularly dangerous. So yeah, really fun.
Oh,
it's scary.
That sounds very adrenaline inducing. Speaking of
we did a lot of rehearsals for that one.
Oh, I'm sure. You have to be so careful with that. Speaking of Eco and Lawrence, what did it feel like reuniting with some of the old Wu Assassin crew?
I love those guys so much. So they're like my family, I mean, it's so nice. It was sad that not everyone was with us, but we have some new additions to the Wu Assassins family. And then of course, Eco and Lawrence, they're really a dream to work with. They're just really fun people. And it was difficult to get the movie done during the pandemic in Thailand. And there was a lot of complications, but to work with those guys is like, it's a dream. I hope that people watch this one and we can make another one or a whole series of it, so yeah, that would be really fun. I love those guys. They're great to work with. And this time we get to see Tommy doing some fight choreography, because
I saw that in the trailer. That's awesome.
Yeah, because he was complaining before. He was like, I want to do some fights next time. So we put him to work this time, and he killed it.
That's awesome. I love that. You did talk about seeing new faces. Pearl 2C in the trailer, at least, since I haven't seen it, seems like an ex-love interest, also a possible current love interest. What was it like working with her and finding that chemistry together?
Yeah, Pearl was incredible. She jumped right in. She loved the idea of, trying to train with us and do as much as the action that she could herself. And I really love actors that do that. I love actors that put in the work. If you're going to make an action movie, it's a lot of physical work, and it's part of the performance. It's part of the emotional performance. Even is in the physicality. So Pearl was great because she was training with us 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, and she would even come on her off days and train. So yeah, she was great. And then as far as the chemistry between us, I think it worked really nicely. You know, she's a really kind of honest and open person, and we had a lot of conversations about the characters and kind of like their backstory and their history, and I think it really shows on screen. And you know, for me, as an Asian man, it's nice to see these kind of like diverse couples on screen, because you never usually see like an Asian man and a Black woman romantically on screen, which is like, it's very rare to see that, which is weird. But so I'm happy to, like, you know, me and Pearl actually, we're both happy to kind of like just add a different color to the narrative, and hopefully people enjoy that.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
So the end of Wu Assassins alludes to Lu Xin possibly being the next leader of the triads. Without giving anything away, obviously, will we get any answers about that or see that aspect in the movie at all?
What I can say is this: you don't need to have watched the series to watch this film. So we wanted to do something unique, which is to the people that have seen the show, they are going to have, you know, they know the character's history, and they know their backstory, and they've kind of been on a journey with them before. So, you know, they'll be more invested when they watch this movie. But if you haven't seen the series, you can still watch this movie and go in blind, because what it really is at the end of the day is, obviously it's a revenge story, but it's about a traumatic experience, losing a loved one, and then, you know, going on a journey to discover answers. And, you know, they want to find answers, they want revenge, and during that journey, exploring their relationships together as a family, you know. So anybody can just jump in and watch it, and if you've seen the show, then you'll kind of have a good, you know, grasp on the characters already.
Right. Well, I love that. That gives more people the option to watch it, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
You kind of touched on this, but not really. Do you think that this movie will open any doors to continue the story, like a second season or another movie, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's always kind of difficult getting stuff off the ground in the first season, and the story of Wu Assassins, you know, it was a little complex, and there was like many different timelines and stuff. So I think what we took away from that series, based on fans' comments, and, you know, kind of like what we understood people liked, and what we understood we thought were maybe weak points, is to kind of like adapt the story and make it something that we can develop in the future and keep developing it, almost like the Fast and the Furious franchise, where we keep bringing in different people, you know, different cool people like Pearl Thusi, Jason Tobin from Warrior, and like keep like adding new faces while we go on this journey, and kind of like develop the action so it continuously just gets wilder and wilder. And you'll see when you watch this film, it's like, when I tell you it's nonstop action from the first 10 minutes of the movie, after the first 10 minutes of the movie, it's nonstop action, like legit. So yeah, hopefully we can keep like upping the ante.
Yeah.
Doing crazier and crazier things.
My favorite type of movie, nonstop action. That's what I love.
Yeah, and it's kind of an homage to that old style action film, you know, like there is some VFX in the movie, but 95% of it is practical. 98% of it was shot on location. So yeah, I'm proud of that, because I enjoy those old action films, you know, like from the 80s and 90s. And so we were kind of hoping to make an homage to that period as well.
Yeah, I love that. Is there a character trait of Lu Xin that you admire or try to implement in your own life? He's a complicated character.
Yeah. Well, I think what's cool about Lu Xin that I relate to in a way is, I think his ability to like learn and grow and kind of like, you know, take traumatic things from his past and try to develop as best he can as a human. I think that, you know, he's a very flawed character, and so am I. You know, everybody is, and then I think that the desire to want to grow and progress is the most important thing, as opposed to knowing that you can do better and not trying, or knowing that you can do better and not exploring that hard truth.
Right.
I think it's very valuable for people that want to explore it and choose to. And he does that. And I am doing my best to do that too.
He does. That's a really great trait of his for sure. Yeah. Okay. So I do have to ask about Shadow and Bone for one question. It's one of my favorite book series. How excited are you to be bringing Toila to life?
I'm so excited. I met Lee Bardugo like 2 days ago and I was fanning out. It's incredible, man. The cast is really cool. And I love the first season. I love what they did. I read the first 2 books and really enjoyed them, and going to get into the next ones as well. But yeah, I've really, I'm excited to bring, a different level of action or a different level of character work, and bring Talia to life in a more specific way, Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited. I can't say too much about it, except that everybody on the cast is super cool, and they're like, one big family. So they embraced me and Anna, who plays my twin, Tamar. So they embraced us with open arms, and that was really sweet. And it's not always like that you get a cast that is really caring and kind. Right. So yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, as soon as I saw you were cast as Toila, I was like, oh, the action in the show is just gonna be the next level.
Yeah, and when they cast me, they were just like, yeah. So when I went in to check out the props and stuff, and they kind of had all these different props on the table, and I can't be too specific about it, but I was excited. There was a lot of different weapons that looked fun.
Yeah, love that. Okay, so finally, at Nerds and Beyond, we like to end our interviews with a fun question. So if you could choose any supernatural power, whether that's Wu related, Grisha related, or anything else, what would it be and why?
That's interesting. Well, I've been exploring more this heart rendering, and I think that's a pretty unique trait. You can kind of, obviously you can do damage with it, but you can also kind of like get reads on people. And I think that's pretty interesting. So I'll go with that one for now, because that's the one that, obviously if I could summon the sun, I mean, that's the number one. Yeah, but no, the heart rendering one is something that I've been exploring, and kind of even playing like a twin, because twins kind of have that sixth sense about them already, that kind of like subconscious connection already. And I think like with this kind of like power on top of it, it's really unique to explore kind of how they can read each other without having to say anything.
Right.
So yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, heart trending is...
What's your Grisha power?
I'm a heart trender also.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I took the quiz and everything, and that's what I've got.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're legit one of us.
Yeah, of course I am. Awesome. Well, awesome. Louis, thank you so much for taking your time out to talk with us. It means a lot to Nerds and Beyond, but I'm sure it also means a lot to all the other small outlets that you've given the chance to talk to.
For sure. It's my pleasure, man. You guys are awesome. And, I appreciate you getting the word out, especially for movies like this, that are very diverse and kind of like original stories. It's good. It's great to have everybody's support.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday.
Yeah, you too. Thanks. Okay. Thanks again. I appreciate it.